So what we're going to look at here is we're going to specifically look at the true, false, not given, but we're also going to look at some of the reading strategies that you're going to need to use for this type, okay? And try and avoid some of the mistakes that people make with the true, false, not given, okay? Hi, Faiza. So we'll just have a quick look at the question types, first of all. So depending on how you categorize them, there's more or less 10 types of question. So we're just going to go through and we've got some missing words. So what I'd like you to do is to fill in the missing word for me. Okay, very good. So the first type is the multiple choice. Then we also have the short answer. Very good. Okay. Another type of exercise is sentence completion. Exactly. Then we also have similar, but we can also have note completion. Very good, Anmol. So we're not writing complete sentences, we're just filling in notes. And then the one that we're looking at today, so it can be yes, no, not given, or it can be true, false, not given. Okay. This one's a bit harder because we just have a C, but it's where you have a list of, let's say, 3 scientists and you have to say which sentence matches which one. Yes, exactly, Joan. It's we can call it classification, or some people call it categorization. Okay. Then what's the next one? So we have the beginning of the sentence, we have the end of the sentence. Exactly. So we're matching sentence endings. And then the next one, everybody's favorite, matching headings. Yes, oh, hi, Neo, good to see you again. Hi, Pachu. Okay, matching headings. Then there's one where you have to find which paragraph the information is in. Yes, so we're locating specific information within the passage. Okay. And finally, you can be completing a diagram, a table, or some kind of, well, it could be a map actually, so, or a flow chart. So some kind of visual representation. And then we, you have to fill in the labels for that. Yes, Anmol, this is recorded. All of the webinars are recorded, and 24 hours later, you will be able to watch it again on, not on email, but you can go onto YouTube or Facebook, okay? And then you would be able to see the recorded webinar, okay? So of those 10 types, yeah, summary completion is more or less the same as sentence completion, okay? Hello, hi, Matt. I'll come to that at the end. So which ones do you find most difficult? Which are most of the above? Yeah, we're getting, often people say matching headings or true, false, not given. Okay, yes, matching headings is difficult. And we do have another webinar. And in that webinar, we do look specifically at matching headings. But again, a lot of people find the true, false, not given very difficult. So that's something, yes, and it tends to be the not given and the false. I'm very well, Mantha, thank you very much. So that's what we're going to look at now. So I'm just going to move forward a little bit because we do have a little bit less time today. And we're going to focus now on the strategies, okay? So there are different strategies that we need to use for the reading. So it's very important that you don't spend a lot of time, you know, reading the passage. You don't have time to do that. Obviously, you know, time limits is a big issue when it comes to the reading. So we need to focus on the different kinds of strategies, okay? So first one is skimming. So what is skimming? What does that mean? If you skim read something, what are you doing and why are you doing? Yes, it's a very quick read or a quick review in order to get the general idea, okay? Or what we call, somebody wrote it up, the gist. Exactly, Fatma, the main ideas. So you're not looking at any detail, but you're skimming through very quickly and you get an idea of what the passage is about, okay? So for example, for matching headings, skim reading is going to be a very, very important skill because you're looking at the main idea of each paragraph, okay? Then we have scanning. So what is scanning? Okay, Lila, yeah, very good, okay. So in scanning, and Shirley, we're looking for keywords. So we're looking for very specific information. And we're trying to find that in the passage. So as Layla said, things that are very easy to find are things like dates, names, places, you know, anything with a capital letter. That's going to help you find the right place in the passage as quickly as possible, okay? And then we have reading carefully. So this is something that we really only use for true, false, not given and multiple choice, because you're not just looking for a word. Sentence completion, you know, you're just looking for a word, you scan through for that word. When you've got it, you can put it in the answer. But yeah, for multiple choice and true, false, not given, you have to understand really what they're saying. So you have to spend a little bit more time reading carefully, making sure you've got the right information, okay? So that's going to be very important for the true, false, not given today, okay? But we're generally using, you know, 2 or more of these in each exercise, okay? So we can use all of these when it comes to the true, false, not given, okay? So let's have a look at how we can do that. So you can get an overview, as somebody said, sorry, your name went away, but one way of getting a good overview is to just read the topic sentences. But before we do that, right at the beginning, obviously the first thing we need to do is read the title, read any subheadings. If there's a picture or a diagram, have a quick look at that. That's going to give you a very general overview of the topic of the passage. And if you have subheadings, that can also identify parts of the passage. So that might help you find the information more quickly. Okay, so always do that, of course, that's very, very quick. Then it's also a good idea, you know, to just look through the question types before you do the exercise. So you go to the questions first and you read through the questions very quickly. Again, the questions will give you a good idea about what the topic and what the idea of the passage is. You can also then start looking at keywords, and we'll have a look at that in more detail at the moment, okay? So check the questions, always go to the questions first and then go to the passage afterwards, okay? So yes, topic sentences often clearly by the name, tell you what the topic of that paragraph is. So to save you time, you can just look at the first sentence or a couple of words in the first sentence of each paragraph. And again, that gives you a good idea of the topic. It gives you a good idea also of the idea, maybe of what the writer is thinking about. You know, maybe it's something controversial, maybe it's just facts. And then, you know, the keywords will tell you how this is organized, and you may be able to use those to come back to when you need to find the specific information. Okay. And always, I think a very important skill with the reading is paraphrasing. So we will look at that in more detail to actually answer the questions. Not much, Sharma, just about 10 minutes. But also, you know, we just always trying to paraphrase what you're reading. So again, with the matching headings, you know, you need to look at the paragraph, you need to put it in your own words. Look at the topic sentence, put it in your own words. Because one of the problems that come up with the reading is that you're kind of too focused, too fixed on the words that they're using, and you need to break yourself away from that. So I think it's a very good practical thing to do whenever you can, is just try and paraphrase as much as possible. Okay, come to that in a minute. And you can also then, you know, as you're skimming through, if there are some keywords which really stand out, so again, those would be things like the dates or the dates or the names, then you can really just highlight those very, very quickly. And again, it will help you to find the right place as quickly as you can, okay? Because speed, getting to the right place as quickly as you can, is one of the key things in the reading passage, okay?